Hey guys, so today we're going to try something similar to the Mongolian Beef and Peppers. If you guys haven't given this a shot, give it a shot. It tasted really good. What we're going to do today is a chicken and broccoli stir fry. It's got a similar taste to the Mongolian Beef and Peppers, but a little bit different. But it's along the same flavor profile. Anyways, let's get started here on Cook! Don't be lazy. I like to use a cast iron skillet for my stir fry, but if you don't have one, that's fine. You can use a large skillet for this purpose. I'm gonna throw in some vegetable oil. Now, being that the cast iron skillet absorbs a lot of oil, it might look like it's a lot of oil, but the cast iron skillet's gonna absorb most of it, so that's fine. Just coat your bottom. Coat the bottom of your skillet and turn on your stove. So those of you with the stove with numbers on it like mine does, I put mine to a number 6, which is about a medium high. So this is going to take a few minutes to heat up. So while we're waiting, we're going to cut up our chicken. I'm going to dice up 2 chicken breasts. And what we're looking for is chunks. Just like that. Now once your skillet or your frying pan is nice and hot, we can move on to the next step. Put your chicken in your skillet and leave it be for a little bit. You need to take some pepper. Season it with some pepper. We're not going to use salt because our salt content is going to come from our soy sauce and our chicken broth, which you'll see later when we make the sauce. So we're going to leave this alone for about a minute or so that we can start browning it on one side. So roughly a minute later, we can start stirring it. So all together, we're going to cook this for about 4 to 5 minutes. These are small pieces of chicken, so it's going to cook fairly fast. So what I'm going to do is work on the veggies, being mindful that I got to stir this every few minutes. For our veggies, we're going to take a crown of broccoli. We're going to cut off the main stem. And what we're going to do is we're just going to cut this into small pieces. And before I get yelled at, small broccoli parts, otherwise known as florets. Real easy to do. Don't be using that frozen stuff. We don't want frozen soggy broccoli. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this broccoli. Actually, we're not done with our veggies. Let me move it over to this tray here so I can show you guys something. We also need to take an onion, and we're going to cut the onion into slices. So what I find easiest to do with the onion is when I slice my onions like this, I just go across and there's my slices. So once your chicken is looking like it's done, we're going to scoop the chicken out and put it off to the side for a bit. I got 2 pieces of chicken that tried to escape. Ooh, that's hot. Alright. Take those veggies. Actually, you know what? If you feel you need a little extra oil in your pan, throw in a little extra oil, because we still got to fry up some veggies. I'm going to swirl that around. And let's get those veggies in there. So our broccoli, our onion. Now what we didn't cut up in the video was mushrooms, but we do need mushrooms. I ended up buying pre-sliced mushrooms because it's easy. So I'm not going to use the whole container. Just about the whole container. And we're just going to cook this down for several minutes, constantly stirring. Not constantly, but every 2 minutes or so I'm going to stir. So we're about 8 minutes into frying our veggies. And I think now's a good time to whip up our sauce. We need some chicken broth. Now I'm going to use the one that has less sodium in it because I don't want this to be too salty. So we're going to use about two-thirds of a cup of chicken broth. Some soy sauce. Notice also, sodium, less sodium. We don't want this to be too salty. Now, after you make this, if you feel that it needs additional salt, you can go ahead and one of these items, don't go for the less sodium product to give it that extra salt content. But otherwise, I think you'll be alright. Alright, so 1 squirt, 2 squirt, 3 squirts. That's how I do it here. 3 squirts, eyeballing it, soy sauce. Some light brown sugar, not that dark brown stuff. Light brown sugar. I'm using, I don't know. I kind of try to eyeball about 2 tablespoons. Some pepper. I'm going to eyeball and do just a puff. Oh, you know what? 1, 2 puffs. Some ground ginger. 1, 2 good puffs of ground ginger. Minced garlic. A big glop of minced garlic and cornstarch. Good puff. That was good enough. We're going to stir this up. And this sauce is ready. Let's get back to our veggies. That sauce was easy enough. Throw it into our veggies. We can drop our temperature on our stove down to about a 3. And let's go ahead and throw in our chicken. Let's put our chicken back in. Looks good and smells good. Stir it up. Make sure that chicken gets coated with some of that sauce. So I'm going to let this simmer for about 2, 3, 4 minutes or so. 2 to 4 minutes. In the meantime, those of you who are new to my channel, hit that subscribe button. I put out a video each and every single week. For those of you who have been following me for some time now, I'm pretty sure you know what time it is. Time to plate up. Chicken and broccoli stir fry, real simple to make. Now for you broccoli lovers, I don't want to hear it. I know I showed this broccoli enough love. Hopefully enough love to meet your standards. Anyways, until next week, you guys know it. Cook! Don't be lazy.